insight, like how the class has performed, who has performed better, how accurate they have really answered that particular question. So all that we can generate as a report. So it gives us, we can have a check on the performance of students, individual students. So this is a very great assessment tool that we have found. We have already tried and tested these tools, so we thought that it should be known to you also. So the quiz platforms, as I said, that we are going to discuss are Kahoot and Quizizz. Both these quiz platforms are closely related to each other. Someone who has to Yes, ma'am.
We request all the participants, please mute your audio. The problem is if the host mutes you all, somehow it gets unmuted and we could hear your audio. So please mute your audio for the smooth functioning of this workshop. Thank you. Faustina, you can continue.
Okay, so Kahoot and Quizizz are both closely related to each other. They are both online quiz platforms. You can host quizzes online, and I will tell you what difference both of them have. The Quizizz is actually was actually created as an alternative to Kahoot. Kahoot has few issues, but it is still interesting. I'll show you how. And Quizizz was created by a team of Indians, so it is a made in India product. And okay, so the common things which Kahoot and Quizizz have is we can host live quiz. That is, I'm going to show you a demo of how a live quiz happens with Kahoot. Okay, so you can have a live quiz that is on spot. A teacher and a student can be there, and the teacher can have a quiz online. Okay, not able to hear me?
No, it's clear. Yeah. Oh, someone is saying, but it's clear. Yeah.
And also you have options. Okay. And also you have options for offline quiz. So online, everybody should be there online, connected to the internet, and only then you can do. Offline quiz, you can create it offline and also share it with them offline. So they can attend the quiz whenever they want. Obviously, it works on internet, but it is not needed that they have to be online throughout. Okay, so you can post the quiz anytime. You can set an expiry date for your expiry time for your quiz. So they can, within that particular time, they have to submit or they have to work on that particular quiz. Okay, so these are the two modes that are available. And also you can search for public quizzes. Even when we write or when we create our own quiz, we can make it public so that anybody else can search for a quiz and use it. Okay, so we can also have private quizzes and also have public quizzes. So we can also search for public quizzes of our subject. We can search for them. Someone would have created it. We can use them, and we can send it across to our students. And also there is a concept called classrooms over here. So you can have classrooms built in wherein you can have quizzes shared in that particular classroom. Okay, so you can share it with the team of students at one shot. Okay, so which is why you have something called as classrooms or teams. So in Quizizz we call it as classrooms. In Kahoot we call it as teams. So all this is possible with the online platform. So there are two roles important when we are talking about an online quiz. So the first one is going to be the teacher, obviously. So the teacher, we call them as the host because they are the person they are going to be the ones who will host the quiz. And then we have students whom we call as the players. They are going to play the quiz. So these two roles are important. So what a teacher will be doing? A teacher will create a quiz first. He will type in the questions. He will give the answers. He will save it accordingly, and then he will start the quiz. Okay. So these are the two things which the teacher will do. And meantime, the students, they can attend the quiz by having a game pin or a game code. Okay, so this is how the connection between the teacher and the student happens. Because how exactly will the quiz reach the student, the player? It is only through this game pin or the game code. Kahoot names this as game pin. Quizizz, it is game code. Okay, so the teacher will start the quiz. He will say that this is the game pin game code, and the student will enter that and they can start playing the quiz. So as and when they play, the teacher will be able to monitor how it is done and all that. Okay. Yeah. And so we know that there is going to be two sides of the single quiz, the one who is hosting it and the one who is playing it. So in that case, it requires two different websites. Okay, so that is why the teacher side, the host, he will be accessing, if he's accessing Kahoot, it will be kahoot.com. Whereas the student will play the quiz in kahoot.it. Okay, so there's going to be two websites, one for the teacher for hosting the website and the other for the student to play the quiz. And for Quizizz, it is going to be quizizz.com for the teacher, from where the teacher will host the quiz and the student will attend the quiz using quizizz.com/join. Okay, so they are going to be two different sites of the same quiz, one for the host and one for the player. Hope I'm clear. I'll move on. Okay, first we'll go with the live mode. I'm actually going to show you how to play a live, and we are going to play a live quiz. Okay, so I want to show you how exactly it is played in both Kahoot and Quizizz. So in Kahoot, as I said, Kahoot and Quizizz both have two roles, as I said, the host and the player, correct? So in Kahoot, the host will have the questions displayed, but for the players, only the options will come up. And especially options will be only of shades and colors. So they are not going to get the exact options. All that will be displayed only on the host system. Like for example, if you're playing Kahoot in your classroom, you have projected it on your screen, okay, using a projector. And the students are sitting in their computers and they are going to play the quiz. The question, the options, everything will come up only in the teacher's system. So whatever that is projected using the projector. So every option will have a different color and a different shape will be assigned for each and every option. So the shape and the color will only appear in the player screen. As you can see there in the picture, the player's device will only show buttons, clickable buttons. So you can find out there are different shapes, and in the background they will have different colors. So they have to coordinate with the host screen, the teacher's screen, to choose which is the right answer. Because they won't have any options that is showing up the players. Okay, this is how Kahoot is played. So there has to be a synchronization for the students. They have to look for the answers in the projector. They have to see which color and which shape it is, and then they have to check. They have to click in their device. Okay, and in Quizizz, it is not like that. Questions, options, everything will be shown in the players. So this is one major difference between Kahoot and Quizizz live, the live mode, when we are playing it in an online mode. Otherwise, both are same. It is played in the same way. Both the teacher and the student will be online, but the way in which it is represented will be different. So in Quizizz, what will happen in the teacher screen? As and when the players are playing, the real-time monitoring will be happening, and that will be shown in the host screen. Okay, but in Kahoot, it is not like that. Only after the end of each and every question, the teacher will know who has answered it well. And there's one more important difference between Kahoot and Quizizz. In Kahoot, you can set, I mean, both in Kahoot and Quizizz, we can set the time duration taken to answer one question. Like, for example, you can start from 5 seconds to 10, 20, 30. So it can go on, okay? So the number of seconds taken to answer one question is common to both. But in Kahoot, it also calculates the person who's answering first. So even within the, yeah, I mean, to put it even better, fastest finger first. So the one who chooses the right answer quickly will lead the leaderboard. Whereas in Quizizz, it is not like that. The question will appear for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, which we set, but within that time, the players, the students can leisurely answer. So it doesn't score based on the fastest finger first. Whereas Kahoot uses fastest finger first technique. Hope I'm clear with both the live modes of Kahoot and Quizizz. I'll first show Kahoot. I'll show you how to create a quiz, and we are going to host a live quiz. We are all going to play it now. Okay, so I'm just moving to my browser to show how exactly it works. Okay, so this is Kahoot. So I said the teacher would go to kahoot.com. I hope you can see my browser. So this is kahoot.com's, yeah, when you click type kahoot.com, this is the web page that it opens. So Kahoot actually has its features. The more features that you want to use, you have to upgrade it, you have to pay for it. But for a basic quiz that we can conduct in our classroom, the free version is more than enough. Okay, so I'm going to show how to sign up. Signing up is very easy. And taking time. Okay, guess it's a browser issue, so I've shifted to another browser. So once you give sign up, this is what will come up. It will ask for choose your account type. So you can choose teacher, and you can move on. It is asking for to describe your workplace. So we can choose higher education and just move ahead. And it will ask for an email and password. That's it. Okay. So I already have an account, so I'm just going to use the login and get inside. Okay. Okay, so once after I give my login credentials, this will be the page that will come up. Okay, so this is the home page that I get after I log in. So I have a name. It is asking me for upgradations to create a team. All that is can be done only after I upgrade. So I can find out there are some Kahoot articles that are coming up. And then I can see my Kahoots over here to the right hand side. So I have already created few quizzes that are all coming up over here. Okay, so I can see the Kahoots that I've already done. The quizzes that we create here are called Kahoots. Okay, so I can see the list of the Kahoots which are already there. So you can see I have some Kahoots already created, which is listed over here. We'll play a Kahoot, but before that, I will show you how to create a Kahoot. Okay, so here you can find out an option. To the right hand side, you can find an option called create. So I'm clicking on that. Okay, so it is asking me to create a new Kahoot. Okay, so the ones which come with this particular crown are all an upgraded feature which we cannot use, and there are also templates, okay, which are already there available. Okay, but I'm going for a new Kahoot, a blank Kahoot. So I give create. Okay, so here I can start typing my question. So you can see this is the console, this is the editor. To the left hand side, you can see a pane wherein you start typing questions, you add them, all the question will come there one after the other. Okay, so using this pane, you can rearrange your questions. You can just pull them over to the front or back. You can rearrange your questions. And then for adding questions also, you can add questions. And also you can import questions for which they have a spreadsheet, which is here. Okay, I'll show you the sample Kahoot template also. Hope you can see this Excel sheet. This is a template from Kahoot. You can download it. It is available. Once I give this import spreadsheet, it will ask me to download the template. That is how I download it. So there in that particular format, we can type the question. So it is asking you, there is a sample question already put up. So you can have your question and the answers typed in here. Okay, so you can also save this template and upload this template. Okay, otherwise I can just start typing the question over here. So I'm just going to type you a couple of questions that were taken from today's class, and I would really want people to answer me because this is just a sample. Anyways, you would be knowing the answer as I'm going to type the answers also here. Okay, so I'm just typing a couple of questions taken from today's class. So let somebody answer me in the chat. Okay, before I type out the answers. Yeah, Shanta ma'am has given the right answer as Google Drive. Okay, so I can type the answer here, Google Drive, and I'm giving all the other options also. Okay, I can give OneDrive. If I don't want options, if I want only two options, in that case, if I leave these two empty, it is fine. At least I should give two answers. And here you can find out there is a single select or a multi-select. Multi-select is a premium option here. Okay, so I can have only a choose the best answer type and not choose the right answers. So I cannot have more than one option selected. So now among these two, Google Drive is the right answer, correct? So I have to make sure that this tick mark is given. Okay, so I am giving the answer key for the question. So I have to necessarily do this, otherwise it cannot auto-evaluate. Okay, so I have to make this check mark so that I'm telling that Google Drive is the right answer. So I can set my time limit over here. You can find there is something called time limit. So by default, it is 20 seconds. If you want to have a very quick hand, I can give 10 seconds. I can change it accordingly. So it gives me time till 240 seconds. Okay, so you can find out over here. So I can just give any time I want. And also this is the point that will be calculated for each question. Like for example, you want to have a question which is very difficult to be graded more than another question. In that case, I will have this question as 1000 and the easier question as 500. Okay, so I can have options like that. So it starts from 0 till 2000. So depending on the complexity of the questions, I can also have different points. Okay, but by default it is 1000. Okay, so now after this, it is automatically getting saved, and then I give add question. So in that case, the second question will be added. So it is asking me whether it is a quiz or a true or false question, and you can see all the other things are upgraded features. Okay, so with Kahoot you can create only a multiple choice question, choose the best answer and a true or false. Okay, so now I'm going to have maybe I'll have a true or false. I'm starting to type the question. So can someone give me the answer? Can someone give me the answer? Again, Shantamam, yes, it's true. Okay, so the answer is true. So this is the right answer. So I have to choose the right answer here. So I just click on this. It shows the green one, and I'm choosing it. Okay. So similarly, I can, if I want to have, if I have to change the time, I can do the points I want. I can do. Okay. So I'm just going to have these two things. Now I'm done with this. I'm sure you can add any more questions. Okay. And also when we play, you'll know how exciting it is. Okay. So I'm just stopping with these two questions. I'm sure it is understandable as to how you can add question after question. Okay. So once you have put all the questions, then I give a done. And one more thing is that you can also use images here. Like for example, Kahoot has options to include special characters, if you can see. Superscript, subscript, you can also add symbols. So if you have any mathematical quizzes wherein you have to add symbols, that is also possible. You can add symbols, okay, add symbols, currencies, everything, okay. So all these you can add here. If it is too complicated to be typed, you can also drag and drop it as a picture. So you can type it elsewhere, you can take a snip of it and you can put it here. For example, if it is a very complicated equation that you can't really type it as a question, you can add it as a picture also. Okay, so all this is possible. So once I'm done with this, I'm clicking done. Okay, it is asking for a title. I'm just putting some title for this. Okay, description is optional. giving continue. So it is validating my Kahoot and it says my Kahoot is ready to be played. Okay, I just give done. So in that case, now my Kahoots, the list of the Kahoots that I already have, will have the new quiz that I just did. Okay, you can see that the Kahoot is there. Okay, so are you all ready to play? Can we play a Kahoot now? I already have a Kahoot prepared for us, and these are questions based on yesterday's topic. Okay, so based on yesterday's topic, we are going to play this. Fine. Okay, any questions? I hope you remember that I told you how to play an online Kahoot. I will be hosting the questions and the answer, and for you, you will be able to see only the colors and the background. Okay, so that is how it will be played. So all of you have your mobile phones ready, or you can also use your browser. But anyways, it comes handy for me. So whatever that is there, you can use your phone or your desktop. Okay, shall we start? Yes, so how to play a Kahoot. So now I have the quiz ready. This quiz is what we are going to play now. Okay, so you need no sign-ups required. No sign-ups required for playing Kahoot. Okay, so that is one good thing. Okay, there's no sign-ups required. I'll tell you how to do it. Okay, so now we have let us play option. I'm just going to click that. I'm sorry, it is going to show the play option here. I'm going to click play. Okay, you can see each and every Kahoot has the play option. Now I'm going to play this Kahoot. I'm clicking play. Okay, so these are the two modes that I said, the online mode and the offline mode. In Kahoot, online mode is called teach because the teacher will be physically present there. Okay, so once the student answers, if there is a problem for someone to understand because most of the class got it wrong, in that case, the teacher can explain that particular concept better. Okay, so that is called a teach mode in Kahoot. Then the other one is that assign mode. So the assign mode is the one that I told you. You can set a date and time within which they can answer. So it is they can answer in their own pace. Okay, so it is for them to learn more. Oh, fine. So now we are going to have the teach mode, which is the live mode. So I'm going to teach. So I'm clicking on it. So can anyone remember what I told when I was telling which site should a student go to attend a Kahoot? Anybody can answer me in the chat? I told you because there are two sites for the quiz, one from the teacher side, one from the participant side. Yes, Kahoot.it, superb, right? Fine. So that is what you have to do. I'm just going to choose this player versus player, the 1:1 devices, the classic mode, or you can also have as a team, okay? Because one limitation with Kahoot free is it can have only 50 players. So it is an ideal number for a classroom, but if there's going to be more players in that case, you can split up your classroom into teams and they can share the devices and play. For now, I'm choosing the classic option, and there are many other options over here also. If you want the music, if you want, randomized questions, answers, okay, there are many other options that are put up over here. Okay, you can just explore them later. Okay, now I'm going to the classic mode. Fine. So this is how it will be for me. Now, can you all go to Kahoot.it? If you are inside Kahoot.it, it will ask you for a game pin. So please give this game pin that is appearing on my screen. Can you see the game pin? Yeah, please give your original name. Please don't give a nickname because it will be tough for us to identify. Okay, so please give your original names when it is asking for a nickname. So you can find out as and when the students are getting in, outside the participants are getting in, their names are appearing on my screen, the teacher's screen. Yes, we have only 6 players. Hurry up. I've experienced this in my classroom, like even to see their names popping on the screen, it's so exciting for them. No? Like the students really enjoy playing Kahoots. have to sign up as a teacher. Now to play, you needn't sign up at all. Just go to Kahoot.it. It will ask for a game pin. Enter the game pin, give your name, and you'll get a screen. You'll be waiting to play. So only if I give a start here, you can find a start. Only after that, you can really start the quiz. So I'm just waiting for all the participants to join so that I can start. Should we wait? Is anybody else joining? There's only 16 participants. I can mute it from here. Okay, I've muted the music. Yes, you have options to mute. Okay, fine. I think I can start. Anybody else who is getting into the Kahoot? That's it. Okay, I think we can start. There's nobody else joining. So because once we start, we cannot have players getting inside. So if I'm done, I can start. I mean, if you're done with joining, I can start. Can I start? There's one more player who has joined. Okay, fine. Let us start. So I'm giving start over here. So please be ready. Look into your screens. So remember, I told you the question. The options will appear on my screen. No options will be displayed for you. You have to choose the correct options depending on the background color and the shape that particular option represents in the question. Okay. So I'm giving start. So there are 5 questions. It says, are you ready? Fine. Question is already there. So you can see there in the left hand side, there was a timer that was running on my screen. And to my right, I could see how many of them have answered. But within that particular time, only 5 of them had answered. Okay, 5 or 6 of them have answered. And you can see how many of them gave the right answer and how many gave the wrong answer. And only one person had given the right answer among the 6. Okay, so it shows how many how many chose what option. Okay, so 2 of them had given site title, then 3 of them had given menu, and only one person had given the right answer, which is blogs. Okay, so that is also showing up over here, which is the right answer. So once after you finish each and every question, this is how it will come in the teacher's screen. Okay, I'm giving next. Next is going to show me the leaderboard. So you can find out that only that had only one right answer, and that was given by Shanmuga Priya ma'am, and she's topping the scoreboard. Okay, right? So all the others are coming below that. Okay. Then I'm giving next. The next will start to the, I mean, it will take me to the next question. So please be ready. The next question is ready to pop. Question number 2. You have to be quick to answer because the timer is running. Quick, quick, quick. Okay, so 13 of them have answered and most of them got it right. It is VCF. Most of them got it right. Great going. So we'll see who is topping the leaderboard. Oh, you can see there's so much of people climbing up the leaderboard. And again, there's Shanmuga Priya ma'am topping the leaderboard with this many points. So depending on the fastest finger first, this leaderboard can drastically change with the questions that follow. Okay, so shall we move to the next one? Is it interesting to play? Yes? Yes, fine. So we'll just make a point to have an eye on the timer alone because most of you miss on that. Okay, so just keep a note on the timer alone. Okay, moving to the next question now. Okay, so there were 14 responses and most of you got it right. Ethernet is the answer. So yes, so we'll see who's leading the leaderboard now. So Mary ma'am is stopping the, I mean, she has come second. So this is the way in which it will show how exactly they have moved up. And also it shows that up to 4 places, Shanta is the highest climber. So whoever has moved from the previous question to this question, who has moved more points, all these things will come up, which the students will enjoy. Okay, I'm moving to the next question. Only 6 of you got it right. Answer is file options customize ribbon. It is using that you can have the recording option. Okay, fine. We'll see how the leaderboard has changed. Oh, now Mary ma'am is topping the leaderboard, and it says Vincent Femila has the highest answer streak of 3. So it comes when you answer 3 continuous questions, okay, correctly. So in that case, it says, I mean, it comes up like this, okay, with a fire. Okay? It shows all these things on the teachers, which we usually project. So because the teacher's screen is going to be projected, so all this the students will be seeing. Okay, so we're moving to the last question. I'm going next. Last question is a true or false. Okay, so 50-50. So 7 of you got it right. It is true. Okay, so we will see what happens to the leaderboard. Okay, because now we have already ended the quiz, so it is showing the podium. Okay, so the third place goes to Padma ma'am, second place to Shanmuga Priya ma'am, and the first place to Mary ma'am. Okay, so runners up are Kavita ma'am and Valarvali ma'am. Also thumbs up over there. Okay, so this is the way in which you can play the quiz, and you can get feedback. There's something called get feedback. So here, this is where you can view the report. Okay, so you can view the report. It will show as to how the students perform. So all that can be there. You can download it. You can save it in a Google Drive. So all that is possible. So you see, it shows the accuracy of how well the student answered. I mean, how well the participant answered here. So what is the final score? So all these things I can have it as a report. So it is easy for me to assess a student's performance by having such a quiz. Okay, hope you enjoyed this Kahoot. Can we go for another round? Okay, we'll play one more, but not in Kahoot. We will play it in quizzes. And I'm explaining about quizzes. We'll do one more quiz over there. Okay. Yes. So, any other questions with Kahoot? Any questions with Kahoot? So Kahoot is interesting because it is a little flimsy because students used to enjoy it with the music and the colors that show up. So, but the problem is it allows only 50 participants, and more other features. The question types can be only choose the best answer and true or false. That is one thing, and also. Yeah, the other interesting features by having a classroom and all that you can have it only as an upgraded feature. Okay, so that is an issue with Kahoot. But to have a small fun like this in the class, this is definitely a very good tool because kept it. Yeah, it is free. Yeah, till whatever I did, I had done it only using the free features. Okay, so yeah, using this free feature. But if you have to upgrade, if you want to have a classroom over here, but it is basically a quizzing platform. Okay, it comes under the online assessment tool, but basically only for quizzes. So all that come as an upgraded feature. That is one problem. But at least you have questions like this. All this was done using the free features of Kahoot, which we can still do. Okay, so I'm closing off Kahoot now, and I'm moving to I'm moving to quizzes. Okay. There is one more thing I wanted to tell here. Okay, I just tell you about. Okay, so how to give answer explanation? Of course, the teacher will be among the students, so that is how they will give. So there's no way in which you can give any explanation through the Kahoot. So when the teacher is going to be there, because it is a live quiz, the teacher can give it. So face to face with the students, they can give any explanation. Fine. So I'm moving on to quizzes. So this is the quizizz.com. So I told you for the teachers, you have to go to quizizz.com. I'm not going to show the sign up. Sign up is as easy as what we saw in Kahoot. Okay, I'm just going to log in. I'm going to use my login to get inside. I'm logging in. And this is how my homepage after login will look like. Okay, so here I said both are closely related, right? So even here you have the find the quizzes where you can search for the public quizzes. Once you have a quiz public, it is all available there. You can search according to your subject, or you can search according to whatever title. Okay, you can just search and you'll have a long list of quiz that is coming up. If the questions are relevant to you, you can just take that quiz and give it to your students. Otherwise, we can have our own quizzes created, which you can find out inside my quizzes. Okay, so I have few quizzes already over here, and we'll be playing one of the quizzes, and also I'll show you how to create a quiz. Okay, and as I said, even here you have reports. Okay, you have reports, so you can find out how well the students have responded to the quiz, and you can have a classroom here. The one good thing with quizzes is it's all free. Okay, but there is in Kahoot, for all these things you have to upgrade, you have to pay. But with quizzes, everything is free. Okay, and then you can have collection of quizzes. You can have many quizzes put under a collection. You can use them. Okay, just like a labeling, you can just put them. And also one interesting factor with the quizzes is after each and every question, you will have a meme coming up. So I don't have a meme set yet, but automatically some memes pop up after each and every question. So if you have a funny side to the quiz, a meme comes up. Okay, so these are the things with quizzes, and you can find all those options in that left side. So now I'm going to have a new quiz created. I'm going to show you how to create a new quiz. So here in the top banner, you can find there is an option to create a new quiz. Okay, so I'm pressing create a new quiz. It is asking me for a name. I'm just putting some name. Okay, and then I'm choosing the relevant subject. I'm just going to put computers. I'm going to click next. Okay, and then yeah. So here it is asking for what type of a question. Here, if you remember in Kahoot, most of these options were all premium options. We had to upgrade, but here you have these many options given in quizzes. So the multiple choice, where you can have choose the best answer, and checkbox where you can choose multiple right answers, fill in the blanks. You can also have a poll and open-ended question where students can type. The poll and open-ended questions are not evaluated by the system. The teacher has to manually evaluate. But for these first three things, the multiple choice, checkbox, and fill in the blanks, the answers can be given as an answer key, and quizzes will evaluate. Okay, so in evaluation, poll answers and open-ended answers will be evaluated as a right answer, but the teacher has to manually correct it. Okay, even though it is given right by quizzes, the teacher will have to manually correct it. Okay, so I choose which type of a question I want. So I have chosen a multiple choice question, and I can type my question here. Okay, so I'm not going to show you how exactly to do that. Maybe I'll show you how to insert an image alone. So you can find out there is an option to add image. Similarly, in Kahoot, we saw that it was showing an option to add an image. Here also I can add images to my question. So I'm just adding an image. I just have an image already there, so I'm just dragging and dropping it over here. Okay. Yes, I'm dragging and I'm uploading the particular image over here. Hope you can see the image. Can anybody come up with the right answer in the chat? Which is the one which will fill up that question mark? Yes, anybody with the answer? Waiting for some more answers. Anyone else? So except C, I've got all the answers. But anyways, the right answer is D. Okay, so the right answer is D. So here also I can give answer options as I was giving in Kahoot. So I just type out the answer over here, and even this, the Quizizz quiz editor has options for adding all the special characters, the mathematical fields, all that you can add. So as I said, if you have a very complicated thing that you can't really type it out here, you can just upload as a picture, and you can find out here it also has options to add answers as images. Okay, even that is possible over here. So I can just type out and give what the right answer is. So here D is the right answer. So you can find out there is one arrow, tick mark over here. So clicking on that means that I'm choosing D as the right answer. So this is the answer key that I'm providing. And here you can set the time limit. Okay. So here it starts from 5 seconds to 15 minutes. So whatever time duration I want for that particular question, the timer will run accordingly. Okay. So I've just given some 30 seconds over here, and I can give save. Okay. Once I save, it will be saved. Okay, so question number 1 is saved. So similarly, we can add a lot more questions like this. Okay, so is there any doubts with this? So I'll show you how to save the quiz also. So I've just put this question. Now I want to save it. So in that case, I can give done. Okay, so I'm clicking on done. So it is asking for me for a title image. If I don't want, I can just leave it as it is. It's asking which language. I'm just keeping it as English. Then I can choose which grade I want to have it. Okay, and I'm just keeping it public. Okay, so whoever wants to play can play it. Okay, and then I give save. Okay, so the quiz is there already coming up. Okay, so if you want to edit, both Kahoot and Quizizz give options. They have this edit option where you can click edit, and it will again take you back to the quiz editor, and you can add questions. This was the same screen that came up when I had to add questions, right? So I can again give new question. I can choose whatever I want to, and I can start continuing to write. Create my quiz. Okay, so once I'm done, I just give as done. That's it. Okay. So can we try a quiz here in Quizizz? Can we go it live? Okay, Quizizz also have options to play online and offline. I'll also tell you how to play it offline. Okay, Okay, for example, this is this quiz that I just created, right? I'm clicking on it, and it is showing me option as play live, assign homework, and practice. Okay, so play live is what you can play it online. Okay, just like what we played now with Kahoot. Okay, that is what you can do. And I have to show you this assign homework. Okay, assign homework will set a deadline. Okay, I can choose the date I want to. So I can choose some date. I will keep the quiz live till then. Okay, so it is giving a time. It is telling from now. Once I mean, host it as a homework. So for 3 days and 2 minutes from now, that particular quiz will be live and students can answer it. Okay, I don't have a class yet. So I'm just leaving it. I give continue. So remember, I told you that there is a join option in Quizizz, right? So you can just give that particular link to the students and they can enter this code. That is one point. Otherwise, they can just share the link. Okay, you can find out that it is coming up with the game code. Okay, in Quizizz it is called game code. So GC is equal to, and there is a game code that is coming up. I can just copy this link and pass it on to the students, maybe to your WhatsApp groups or to Moodle or to any LMS. Okay, I can just share this link to them. Okay, so till that particular time that I've set up, it will be live. That's it. So it is very easy. It is the same way in which we will do in Kahoot also. So when we have that offline mode, it is the same thing that we do. We have to give them a game pin. You can set a time limit till what time they can play that particular quiz, and you will get the reports also. Maybe I'll show you some reports of my previous quizzes, so you can find out that particular quiz will be coming up as a report, and it is showing me how well the students have done, the amount of accuracy, their scores, and it is also giving options to email. Okay, if you want to email to their parents about their performance. And you can also download and the whole class accuracy, how many attempts the players made, and all that. In Quizizz, you have that one good option. You can actually set the number of attempts a student can play when you're assigning as a homework. Like for example, not every student will answer all the questions at first shot. So maybe after they've attempted, they would know, okay, maybe this is one question that I could have answered. So they can also have another chance. They can play the quiz one more time. So that attempts, you can set it when you're setting the homework. Okay, when you're assigning them as a homework. So can we play quizzes now online? Or do you want it to have it offline? Anything is yours. So maybe I'll have it online. Yes. Can we have it online? Okay, so we'll play online. We'll take another 10 minutes maybe. So we'll play it. Okay, so I'm going to play live. So this here also we have modes like team, classic, and test. So in the team mode, as I said, it is the same. They can answer. Here in Quizizz, there is no fastest finger, as I told you. So they can answer in their own pace, but depending on the time that I've set for each and every question. So if it is 30 seconds, within the 30 seconds, they have to answer, but there is no fastest finger. So within the 30 seconds, anybody can answer. So it is their own pace. Classic is the same, but they have to do it individually. Okay. Test is it for if you have serious, I mean, if there is a serious assessment that is happening. For all the others are going to be a fun part. Okay. So in that case, you can also have it as a test, but for this, you have to have the student to be logged inside. Okay. Then you can also assign that quiz to the class for which you have options, and you have similar options as what we saw in Kahoot. Okay. This is what I was telling about the number of attempts. Okay. So if you're going to have the attempts to be limited, in that case, you have to have the students logged in. Otherwise, you don't want it. Okay. Then we continue. I'm going to the classic mode. I'm giving continue. Okay, so you can go to joinmyquiz.com and you can enter the game code. So even here, please give your real names so that we can see the names of the players coming up over. So this quiz is also again based on sessions that happened yesterday. Okay, there are a few questions with respect to those sessions. Yeah, you can see the names popping here. There are 5 participants who have come. 7. Okay, we'll start. So here, as I said in quizzes, the questions, answers, everything will be appearing on your screen. So you needn't really worry about what's happening in the host screen, that is the teacher screen. Okay, so I'm giving start. Okay, once I give start, nobody else can enter. So I'm going to give start. Questions are coming. So you can see that it is showing me how many, so I mean 20 participants were there, 15 have already done with the quiz, but still the quiz is still on. Okay, it wasn't the same with Kahoot, it is different over here. And you can see the leaderboard is kept changing. Okay, so here it doesn't look for the time, but it sees who has answered continuously right. Okay, so that is based on that, you can see that the particular leaderboard kept changing. Okay, so there are okay. Maybe I'll stop with this. So the whole class was able to achieve a 69% accuracy. They were able to give the right answers, and these were the questions you have seen there. Okay, so it would have come up over there. So it shows me the average time taken to answer this particular question and all that. All that particular insight is what you can see over here. Okay, so I'm just giving end game now. Okay, I'm just giving end game. I still wait. Is anybody answering yet? So I'll better give end game. Okay, so I'm just giving end game. So I can end the game. So here again it is showing me who got it first. So first is Valarmati ma'am, second Deepika ma'am, and third is the Vincent Femila ma'am. Okay. So this is how it is giving me an insight. For the teacher, for the student will not be able to see all these things. Okay? So we can have it for ourselves, we can take a report of it, we can judge how well the student has played. So this is how you can play it online. So any doubts with Quizizz and Kahoot? I'm done with these two online platforms. I'm very sure students will enjoy because we have seen we have just implemented working and we these two things in our classroom and students are really enjoying. So that is why we wanted to show it to you as to how well it is, I mean, structured and how it can be it can add a fun factor to the class. Okay. So I have one more thing to show. So hope you can see my browser. So this is something that you have to play online. So for example, not every infrastructure will have an online facility throughout. Okay, so because here when you're playing online, every systems have to be connected to the internet. Okay, only then you can play. Offline is fine because the teacher when creating, yeah, he or she will post it. The student can even go home, take their phones, and they can answer it. But when you're playing live, there is an issue, but it'll be a very lively factor to the classroom for sure. Okay, so that is one thing that we have to keep it in mind when we are going to have a online quiz. Okay, offline quizzes are great. Okay, you can have offline quizzes created and shared. You can even do that on a daily basis. Okay, just to have a recap of whatever you taught in the class today, you can have an online quiz, offline quiz for them to attend. Okay, so these are all fully completely on the net. You work on a browser, you work on a phone. So what if we want to have quizzes for our classrooms for assessment purpose? So we wanted to have it in a paper and pen. So in that case, we will have to have some tools which are very easy for us to create such aids. Okay. So for that, I'm going to show you one more tool. So I'm not sure how many of you have used the Discovery Channel's Puzzle Maker. That is one great tool which offers you a lot of options to create quizzes. Okay, physical quizzes. So for example, we have crosswords, we have word searches, but we cannot sit and manually design all them. It is going to take a lot of time. Okay, so online tools are available for that. One such tool is this puzzlemaker.discovery channel. I mean discoveryeducation.com. Okay, so once I type that and if we enter, it opens this particular web page. So here you can find there are so many options. I can have a word search created, crisscross puzzle, double puzzles. There are so many options. All these are for free. Okay, so this is from the Discovery Education, and they have told that it is fully only for educational purpose. For taking it as a printout, using it in your classroom, it is absolutely free, nothing. You needn't pay anything at all. You can just use the tool. Okay. So, but in it, as a disclaimer, they have just told that it is for unlimited distribution only inside the classroom. Okay. I'm going to show you how to create a crisscross puzzle. Okay. So you can find an option called crisscross. I'm clicking over here. It is opening a page like this. Okay. It says Puzzle Maker, and yeah, you can find out in the licensing and copywriting that they have really mentioned about this. The permission to use. You can print unlimited copies and have it for the classroom use only. Okay, so there's absolutely nothing to pay for this. So for a crisscross puzzle, I will have to have a title. So I'm just giving a title over here. And the next step is it is asking to enter the number of squares. So how many squares? We know that a crisscross puzzle is going to have a lot of squares, right? So how many squares can come up in a row and a column is what you have to specify. By default, it is 50. So 50 squares can come. So you can have answers which can occupy at the maximum of 50 squares. Similarly, row wise, column wise, because a crisscross puzzle will have up and down. Okay, there are two ways in which you can answer a up and across. There are two ways in which you can answer a crisscross puzzle. Okay, it is for that you can specify that 50 cross 50. And then the size of the square, because the squares can be little big or very small. So what do you want to be the size? The standard size is 30. So if you want to have a bigger size, you can go for 40, 50, or a smaller size, you can go for 20. Okay. So you can change the size, but I'm not changing anything. And now this is where you will enter your questions and the answer. So here how we will enter is, we will first give the answer, followed by a space, and then you will have your question. Okay, so for example, I have a few questions already put up. I'm just going to copy paste to save time. So, for example, these are the questions that we did in the first Kahoot. Okay, so I'm just pasting the questions so you can find out here. If you take the first question, blocks was the answer. Okay, dash are the components that help us add the main content to the new WordPress website. Blocks was the answer. So I start with the answer. I leave a space. Okay, there is a space, and then I continue with my question. Okay, this is the format in which you have to give. Once after I complete my question, I have to press enter, I go to the next line, and then I have to type my next question. Now, for example, my answer is going to have 2 words, okay? So obviously, we will be leaving a space. But here, when we are creating, make sure that there is no space, because it will automatically treat after the first word, whatever space comes from that, it will treat it as a question, okay? So if the answer is going to have a space, make sure you don't give it with the space when you're entering here, okay? And you also ask your students not to give that space when they're filling up the squares, okay? So I have few questions already here with the answer given first, followed by a space and the question. So you can find out I've given 5 questions over here in that particular format, and I give create my puzzle. After I type all the questions, I can give create my puzzle. You can give any number of questions, but you have to make sure if all the questions have come inside the puzzle. That you can find out by seeing this. There is a very small thing that I hope it is visible for you. It says 5 of 5 words were placed in the puzzle. When you dump so many questions, it is possible that not all the questions find their way inside the puzzle. Okay, but for example, for the very same quiz, even it had only 5 questions, sometimes it might come 4 or 5 questions were only placed inside the puzzle. In that case, we needn't do anything. Just give the refresh, reset. You will get the same questions, but in a different form of a crossword puzzle. Okay, so like this, you can create many versions of the same set of questions. So if you want to have different question codes for the same class, so in that case, you can give refresh and you can create different puzzles for the same set of questions. So how should I take this? Nothing. Discovery channel Puzzle Maker recommends that you can just copy this particular image. So you can find out it is coming up as an image. I can give copy image and I can paste it in a Word document. Okay, I'll show you how it is done. So I have a Word document open. So I have a Word document. I copied the image there and I'm just giving a paste over here. That's it. So it will be pasted. So I can maximize the size. I can do whatever I want. Okay, just like how you would work with an image in a Word document, you can do. Similarly, I can go back to my browser. I can copy the questions because this was not the same format in which I typed my questions, correct? So here you can find out it is showing what are the questions that has to be answered across and what are the questions that has to be answered down. Okay, so I'm copying this, just putting Control C, and I'm going back to the document and I'm pasting it. That's all. So here it is a mere text. I can change the font if it is not visible. Yeah, all that I can do. Okay, so this way you can prepare puzzles. Okay, I'll once again repeat how to create new puzzle images with the same set of questions. So the questions don't change. If I want to have 4 different types of questions for the same set, I just give refresh. Okay, or press F5. I give refresh. Give it resend. Okay, so you can find now it is a different image, but the same set of questions. The across and down questions would have changed definitely, but you can see the questions are all the same. Okay, the ordering has changed and also the image has changed. So for example, if students really don't know, we can just tell them that each student is given a different code. And also if they start peeping in, they look at the picture and see, yes, it is different because it is not the same puzzle image as mine. But actually the questions would be the same, but the way in which they're answering only will be different. So by just giving refresh, you can find out. Okay, you can just create new puzzles. Okay, so one thing that you have to make sure is this. See, I refreshed now. Can you find out? It is telling me 4 out of 5 words are only placed inside the puzzle. This is what you have to be very careful. So if you have 5 questions, we want all the 5 questions to be in the puzzle. Okay, so make sure you refresh in such a way so that all the questions are coming up inside the puzzle. Okay, so is this clear? So this is how you can create. You can have a document. So you can put all your headers there, your question code, all that you can put up, and you can just have copies.